Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jared Hart. I'm the athletic director here at Metamora Township High School. On behalf of the administration and Board of Education, I'd like to welcome you to our 2018 Hall of Fame Open House. This is our opportunity to hear from the inductees, followed by a time of fellowship. As we begin our program this afternoon, I need to cover a few details before we have the inductees speak. Just some housekeeping things. Restrooms are located by exiting the auditorium, turn to your right, continue past the hallway, and then look to your right. The men will be before the drinking fountain, and the women will be after the drinking fountain. For the inductees, we have extra programs and plaques. If you didn't get one on Friday night, we have one of those for you, and we want to make sure everybody has everything they need before they leave today. There's been tremendous help to put on a weekend that honors our inductees, so I need to thank several groups. I'd like to thank our Hall of Fame committee, specifically from that committee, Mr. Willard, one of our coaches and teachers here, Ron Danner, Kim McCoy, Luann DeBolt, our technology staff, and our outdoor and indoor maintenance crews. They're responsible for the tents and the posters and the plaques, the program information, and numerous other aspects of this weekend. When we developed the program to recognize the class's accomplishments and through individual conversations with those inductees, an important theme about family developed for any coach or athlete to be successful. With the long hours associated with athletics, there are many times that families are shortchanged. We know that success often starts with the support structure from the family, and I would ask those families of the inductees to stand and be recognized for your tireless support and efforts over the years. So if you're a family member, would you just please stand and be recognized? We'll congratulate you guys. Okay, thank you. So I've talked with the inductees, and they know this, but just so everybody's on the same page, somebody has to go first and somebody has to go last. We always follow the same speaking order that we are the induction order for the speaking order from Friday night. So our order today will be Stefan will speak first, and then Coach Schroeder, Vic Frederick, and then Mr. Dick Hartman is going to speak for the 1966 football team. So Stefan, we're going to have you come up here first. Stefan Rao is actually someone I got to work with because I was actually here as opposed to some of these other inductees when I was not here. So Stefan Rao, congratulations.
So yeah, it's good to be with you all today, and I want to extend a thank you to all the people that helped to put on the festivities this weekend and really through the whole week with homecoming week and making it a special time. And it's neat to once again see how a week like this can bring energy and excitement to a community. So it's been fun to witness once again. My cross-country and tennis days were really significant and formative to me for a number of ways. And I have a lot of good memories and fun, exciting times during those days. And it's fun to think back on them. More than sharing particular memories with you though today, I have just a few reflections and hopefully some encouragements for all of us that I'd like to share. So as I go through life, I find myself recognizing how important healthy relationships are in order to have healthy communities and in order to have a healthy world. And even through my work with organic regenerative agriculture, I see that balance and diversity and healthy relationships are necessary for a healthy system as a whole. I've been privileged to have so many people pour into my life as they've modeled for me what it looks like to respect and love and care for others. And I'm grateful also for the experiences that have instilled in me the importance of strengthening and maintaining healthy relationships. High school cross-country and tennis both provided a context for learning about this. My family, Coach Jones and Bach Fisher and Coach Willard and others, as well as MTHS faculty, staff, administration, and the Metamora community as a whole, they all played significant roles in creating space for growth and development and joy and satisfaction to be found through sports. I've experienced considerable privilege throughout high school, as I do today in so many other ways. I was given what I needed, support systems were set in place, and I was told basically to do my best, to work well with the team, to have fun, and to respect others in the process. And people recognize the potential in me and in my teammates. And they poured energy into making the sporting opportunities possible, and they continue to invite us to do our best and have fun along the way. I think as we go through life with seeing potential in others and inviting each other to do our best and offer what we have, recognizing that we can make the most progress when we work with one another as a team, and having fun and celebrating life and work in the process are at the heart of what life is about. And so yeah, life is good, it's a gift, and I hope we're all continue to offer what we have and to work to see that others can offer what they have, and that we move forward together. So thanks again for including me in the weekend, in the celebration of life and the giving of thanks for the community and the communities which have nurtured us and which we all continue to care for. It's good to be a part of it. Thank you.
Okay. Our next speaker is going to be Mr. Coach Steve Schroeder.
That's a tough act to follow. Good job. Very good. I don't have anything prepared. I usually let my wife do that, but she didn't want to today. But I'd like to introduce her myself too. She's been here through the whole trip, 38 years of marriage, and been very supportive. We have 4 children, a couple grandchildren. Everything's great. But Lisa, if you stand up again, please. Come on. It's just been a great privilege to be able to coach here. It's a great place to coach. And 40, 50 years ago, people knew that. I started at another school about 40 years ago somewhere else, and I couldn't wait for the chance to get over here and interview for something, and that finally happened. And luckily, Ken Maurer hired me, and since then, it's been absolutely wonderful. I've had the privilege to work with some great kids. I've got a great room of kids now. The best part is I'm still coaching, and fun plays a big part of it too. We're trying to have as much fun as we can. We want our kids to be good people, but we try to do our best to make them good wrestlers too, and that's worked out in several cases, very much so. Tons of memories for me. My memories go back to, I had kids at the state tournament 40 years ago somewhere else. Well, I should say 39, this will be my 40. And I remember our firstborn child, who's 34 tomorrow. Lisa had her there. I had a couple kids at the state tournament that year. And she carried our baby daughter around that whole weekend in the assembly hall and stuff like that. Here, I've had some good kids. Fortunate enough to have 3 kids make the state championship. All 3 lost, but they say their losses were to who was picked to be the best wrestler in the state, probably, and I agree. Scotty Cardin lost to a kid that hadn't been scored on for 2 years. Tough draw. And Kenny, the same situation. Everybody remember Kenny Robertson? But his junior year, good story is Kenny was losing 9-1 going into the 3rd period, the last period. And this period ended, and he rolled over and looked at me and said, "Top." Well, he was tough on top. There was no question. It's his first chance we had to take a choice. And he turned that kid twice for 2 3-point near falls. And it was so close. I mean, it could have been called a pin, but it wasn't. He was the returning state champion, unfortunately. Sometimes that plays a role in it too. But lost 9-7. And that turned a lot of heads. Kenny came out of nowhere his junior year. And he was picked wrestler of the year here, so was Scotty back in those days. And then Kenny made the championship again his senior year, and then lost to a kid from Providence, right? unfortunately, if you know wrestling, Providence was the team in the 90s and the early 2s and so on. Since then, the IHSA is putting in all these rules about multipliers and private schools and recruiting and things like that. See, I've got to get that in, don't I? Right? And we've been fortunate over the years. We were in the dual teams sectional finals 3 times. This is before there were 3 classes, right? Well, we lost to Moline, who's 3A right now, and ended up state champs. We lost to Providence one time, and we lost to Rockford East. They're all 3A teams now. Big schools. We were competitive, but they were just too much for us. We were just glad to be there. Good bunch of kids, a lot of good memories there. Assistance-wise, I've had some great guys working with me. Pete Liz, principal now, was with me 10, 12 years. Joe Blessman was with me 12, 13, 14 years. He was the dean here, came back and helped 1 year when I was short an assistant, even though he had the dean's job. And now I believe he's a superintendent somewhere. I'm not sure where. Orion, is he still at Orion? What? I'm not sure. All right, but just several others. I've got a couple guys with me now. J.R. Frederick, works with our kids club, does a nice job, works with our younger kids. Pat Ward is a volunteer assistant. Morgan Murphy, who works at the college as I think he's the offensive coordinator for the football team, but I pulled him in and he works with me now in wrestling in the winter and does a nice job. And then so many others. I've just been blessed in that sense. I would also like to thank the people that organized all the events of this weekend. I thought it was tremendous. I had so much fun Friday. I mean, my family was up there where they could tell. You know, somebody said, "You look like a high school kid out there." And I felt like it was so much fun. That parade was fun. It was fun to look at kids. I saw dozens of kids that wrestled for me, stat girls that I've had in the past. I've got girls that wrestle for me too now, you know that? And they're tough. I've got 2 or 3 little ladies, and I love them to death. They'll wrestle with any kid, any guy at their weight on our team, stuff like that. But it's been fun, very appreciative. I can ramble on. My wife knows. My kids try to get me going to tell more stories and more stories. I got a lot of them, right? But I think that's probably enough. What do you think, dear? Should I shut up? It's fun, right? I'm up here for our awards night too, every year, and enjoy the heck out of it. And look out there. Another good feeling for me, here I go again, is looking in the crowd and seeing fathers that I've coached. You know, I've got a lot of kids of fathers that have coached, good people, things like that. She pulls out a stack of letters, was it yesterday? Of kids that have written me letters, thanking me for everything I've done for them, whatever that was. I just tried to make good people and good wrestlers out of them. She said, maybe you ought to read some of these. Well, I didn't bring them with, of course, but I think it's worth mentioning. I'm just, you know, they appreciate what you do, right? What was the other thing? Got me off on a tangent there. Otherwise, thanks a lot, all right? You guys are great. Thanks for this. This is a great honor. I took my kids in. This is where the picture's going to be. It makes you proud. I went into the high school Hall of Fame about 10 years ago. We took all our kids up there and stayed for a week. And we stayed at the McDonald's University Hotel. That place was kind of cool, right? But that was the same kind of thing. They had the same setup Jared does here. You walk in, you see some of your accomplishments, your picture, and stuff like that. But that's about it. Anybody got any questions? Good at that too. Remind me of something, I'll just keep rolling. You ready? But have fun with it, buddy. Just have fun. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you.
So besides the stuff I do get to work with Coach Schroeder and have for about the last 9 years, that might be the most emotion, besides being on the mat when he's actually coaching, that I've seen in a long time. So that's interesting. So I don't know, it's good to see different sides of people. So we're going to make a transition here. My screensaver, yeah, we're going to go ahead and kill that so we don't have any more disruptions. I apologize for that. You guys, you know, you don't want to see all my sports photos that I like to look at on the screensaver, just our athletic programs, but we're here for the inductees today. So transition, our next speaker is Mr. Rick Frederick. Rick, come on up.
stories are true. But I'd like to thank the Metamora and all the coaches. They've always had wonderful coaches here, and they still got wonderful coaches. And that's what makes everything fun. It makes us play hard, and we do just good enough to keep them all moving on and keeping the wins coming in the category. Like I said, I'm proud to be here, and I thank you for everything. So it's going to be shorter. Thank you much.
So Vic, I don't know if you noticed or not, you probably do, but you may not. So we have a track record board in our Tepe gym, which is the gym they were doing some league games in today when you guys walked in. So there's ladies on one side, the male athletes on the other side. It's all the events that we have in track and field. So Vic still continues to hold the shot put record from 1977. If you think about the number of athletes that have come through here, it is, I believe, the longest standing record we still have. So congratulations on that. And so that is a long-standing record, and I keep wondering when that's going to fall, and it may be quite some time. So, but congratulations and thank you for your words. Our last speaker today is Mr. Dick Hartman. So Dick, if you come forward. He'll be representing the 1966 football team.
I'd like to say we saved the best for last, but I think we're going to save the longest for last. I've got a few props here, so hang on. Well, as a captain, and on behalf of the 1966 undefeated football team, I want to say how great of an honor it is to be selected at the Sports Hall of Fame here at Metamora. It really is an honor. We probably weren't the best team that we ever fielded here in Metamora, but I'd like to say that we could be considered to be the best at being a team. I don't think we had any real superstars, but we had some great coaches, which we continue to have here today. And we just had a bunch of guys that gave their best and just never thought about losing. It's been 51 years ago, or 52 years ago, that we actually went undefeated. But I want to take you back 60 years to the year 1958. And in 1958, the Metamora football team was the first one to win a conference championship. That was in the Oil Conference. Actually, my brother played on that team. And back in 1958, we didn't have any JFL for the youth. But what we did have was about a block and a half up the street here, between Menard Street and Davenport Street, there was an empty lot behind Joe Stiglitz's house. And that was a lot that a lot of the youth, various ages, would gather. And that was the kind of sandlot league. We played baseball in the summer, and in the fall, we'd play football. And actually, I was telling Joe last year, as he got inducted to the Hall of Fame as a quarterback, that his brother would come over, his older brother, and help coordinate that. And there were a lot of good players that came out of that sandlot, and that his brother ought to be in the Hall of Fame too. But we didn't have any pads or helmets back then, so every once in a while somebody would go home crying to their mother. We had one guy, John Todd, that had, I guess, the only football. And John would get mad during one of the games, and he'd take the football and go home, and that'd be the end of the day, the end of the game. And we lived about a block from the lot there, and I always had to be home for supper. So my mother, who was just a little over 5 foot, she had this whistle, which I brought here today. And she'd come out and blow that whistle. I don't know if you remember it, Joe, but when I heard the whistle, man, I was gone. And I had to be home for supper. It was a family deal. And I'm just going to blow this whistle. It's loud. when I was back in about 1958, I had two sisters, one older, one younger, and I get bored at home. So I said, Mom, I need something to do. And she said, why don't you go over to high school, watch them practice football. It must have been in August. So I went over there. And man, here were these guys, these giant guys with helmets, shoulder pads, and cleats. And those cleats, when you walk on the concrete, you know the sound, they chatter. And if you've ever put on a pair of cleats, why, you know what that sound is. And these guys were my heroes. So every night after when school would get out, I'd just ride my bike as fast as I could all the way home. Luckily, I didn't get run over on Route 89 there because I'd hardly slow down. Get a glass of milk, some cookies, and come over to practice. And I did that for 3 years. And the coach back then was Don Elmore. And he always had this clipboard. And when they were scrimmaging, he'd put the clipboard down and go out and show the guys what to do. And he'd say, where's my clipboard? Where's my clipboard? Well, I'd go over and pick that thing up, and I'd always hand it to him. And so after the second year, I think I was in 6th grade, he came over and he said, I want you to go home and ask permission for your parents to go with us to the U of I Illinois high school football game. The U of I used to give free tickets to the high school. So I did that, and so for 6th and 7th grade, 2 years in a row, I got to ride with the players down to that game, hang out with the coaches. And I'll tell you what, that was pretty neat stuff for me. So I was definitely fell in love with the game of football. My 8th grade year, Coach Elmore went up to the suburbs in Chicago, and he wasn't here. They brought in a new coach by the name of Marty Stromberger, who I didn't know. So that was the end of my going to practices. Okay, my freshman year, I come here, and of course we have Mr. Leonard is our coach, who was just tremendous. And I remember that first game, he said it was over at Eureka in the morning. And he said, whoever gets the first tackle gets a chocolate milkshake for Mom and Pop Shires up there. And so we were kicking off, and I kicked the ball, and I remember just running as hard as I could. And somehow I got awarded that tackle. I don't know if I was the last guy up off the pile. I don't know if the gals keeping stats had a crush on me or what, but I got credit for that. And but I want to say, Mr. Leonard, I just wanted to play my heart out for him. And he's had a great impact on my life. But I think, and I know he scouts for the team all these years. And I think that's one of our secret weapons. And I know when he came, we started doing the stats, the statistics of what was going on, and I'm sure he still uses it today. But during one of our games, it was Eureka. We ended up playing Eureka twice that year, and we'd beaten them before, but we lost in that game. But I think Eureka was blocking everybody but me on defense, and I ended up with 36 tackles that game, which I probably is still a record. I remember going home, and we just lived across the street, and I was exhausted. I just shook for 2 hours. And finally, I came out of it, got up, and went to bed. But that was my freshman year. We went 6-2. Our sophomore year, I think we were 5-3. And some of the guys didn't come back out, and there was one guy that did come out, and his name was Dick Gosling. And he was farming his freshman year. And Dick did okay his sophomore year. And his junior year, about the middle of the season, he played guard. And I don't know what happened, the light went on, but boy, he really figured out how to block. And he was probably one of the most efficient, proficient blockers that I can remember here in the school. And he went on, he was a unanimous choice, offense and defense. And he played guard on offense. Defense, he was a tackle. And he and I had the honor of sharing the tackles trophy. Our senior year, we both had 64 tackles. Our junior year, another guy came out. He's not here today, but Steve Shook. His mother wouldn't let him come because he had broken a leg when he was in 7th grade, and she was afraid he was going to get hurt again. Well, finally he got to come out. And boy, Steve just added a great dimension to our team. He had a lot of energy and a lot of spirit. The only thing was he was a halfback, and I had to share my time with him. And I wasn't too sure about that. But then Steve ended up being the MVP our senior year. And at the Farmington game, we were both undefeated, and it was a big game. And we were down on the goal line about the second period, and it was 4th down, and they handed the ball to Joe, who was our quarterback, who also added a great dimension to our team. We couldn't have done it without him. Hands the ball to Steve. Steve hits the line. They stop him cold. He's turning. He's spinning. I'm thinking the play's over, and all of a sudden Steve pitches the ball back to Joe. And I'm sure Joe was surprised and was like a hot potato, and he didn't know what to do with it. He looked around, and there our end was, Gary Reynolds, standing in the end zone. So he flipped it to him, touchdown. The only thing that went through my mind was, man, was that legal? But it was, and we went on to beat Farmington 18-7, I think the score was. But that was part of the deal. And then our senior year, and the whole point is here that it was a team effort. We had a guy that came out that played only his senior year. He wanted to play, and that was Doug Gangloff. I don't think he started any games, but he got to play games and whatnot, and he's afforded the same honor that we are today. So it was definitely a team effort, and it wasn't any one, but it was a bunch of guys that came together. Then, after our first game, I think beat Pontiac by a touchdown or 2 or something like that. We noticed there weren't too many fans in the stand, or they weren't full, so we figured it was the kids going up, the student body going to the Friday night dance rather than coming to the game. So we got together with Steve Shook, and he said, what can we do? And so we decided, let's make some posters. And there was a good friend of ours, Jim Wynn, was probably the most creative, talented guy in the whole class, and he's a professional painter, lives up in Sycamore. So we got together one night after school, and we put together some posters. And this one says, let's hear it, gang. As the ball player reaches over the fence and throttles the fan there. And one says, don't you want to cheer? And this poor student has a stamp from the Friday night dance here, and a little blood coming out of his nose. And anyway, we did that, but we had to take it before the principal, Mr. Pierce. I don't know if any were around for him, but he was ruled with an iron hand, and he gave us the permission, and we put those up, and we did it the next game, and after that, the stands seemed to be full. And but as we won, I think it was maybe townspeople or whatever. But as I think about that, what if we would have lost? We would have been pretty embarrassed. But I think our mentality was we were out there to win. And so that was another thing that we did. Just about done here. So anyway, I think that's basically what I wanted to share. It was a great team effort, and I can't tell you what an honor it is, and how proud I am to tell people that I was the captain of that team. And for some reason, we only had one that year, but it was certainly a team effort. And the thing is, not that our team was that great, but what put us on the map was the tradition that went forward from there. It was the state champions, it was the runner-ups. It's just the way they play football here at Metamora. And I'm just very proud to be a part of that. And when I look at all the other inductees in this Hall of Fame, it just humbles me. So anyway, and thank you for all the organization that goes into this, and thank you.
So we certainly thank our inductees today for sharing those thoughts with us. It's never an easy thing to get up and share from your heart. There's a lot of emotion and time and energy that goes into it, so I thank you for being willing to do that and share that with us. For those that are local, Redbird Replay is here today, so the MTCO local channel will take delay and show this periodically over the next several months, and so just be aware of that if you wanted that. If you did want a copy of this, I would provide that to you. Just maybe get a hold of me by email or phone, and we'll get that to you. But again, we thank the inductees and their families. Congratulations. This kind of concludes our kind of together time. What we'll do is we'll transition out to the hallway. We've got a couple of ladies that did a fantastic job getting some goodies for us and some drink, and it's just a time of fellowship moving forward. So you're welcome to stay and be in the building here. And again, thank you for your time today. Congratulations. Have a great afternoon and week. Thank you.